Hi guys, welcome to Hook's Hot Rods. Al here. I am just getting started on it, I guess, for this year. I'm almost done work. 2 more days, but I took today off because of the rain. Now, what I've found out so far, everything is bent, twisted, just not rusty. So I had to straighten out the grill. This section was all busted up and it was pushed in and to the left, to the driver's side anyhow. So that was throwing everything out of alignment. And then I decided I'm going to mount the front fenders on to the cab itself instead of just onto the frame. So what I had to do is I put the hood on, got it as close as I could get it. Even the hinges are bent a bit. But what I've done here is made this here as the top mount. And I went to start making bottom mounts and found out that every corner of the cab is bent in and there's cracks everywhere. So right now, I'm going to start, there's a crack right in here. I'm going to weld that up. I'm just going to move from corner to corner and get everything straightened up. Because trying to get the front end all lined up so I can put it on a frame is impossible with all these bends. So I'm just going to keep working my way through it. I only have today right now, and then I'm back to work for a couple days, and then I think next week I'm done for the season. Okay, I'll get this all welded up and be back in a bit. So now I'm just getting the front end lined up better now that I know how it's going to fit. I didn't get a whole lot done last weekend because I only had part of one day, but yeah, what I got to do is I got the hood so now it lines up with the body, and the front end used to just mount onto the frame. It didn't mount to the body at all, to the cab. So I'm going to actually make some brackets so I can bolt it to the firewall back there, up in the top corner. Because right now I need to know where how high up the front end's got to go. Like I don't know if it's got to come up or down a bit to match up the hood, because the hood is kind of rounded on top. It doesn't run straight. I've gotten this here line here, so it's fairly even. It's about a 32nd of an inch different on side to side. So I've got to get that straightened out. And then get the fenders mounted in where they're going to go so I can set up the running boards down here. Because they bolt onto the fender, and I'm going to make a bracket or something that goes in underneath the cab and bolts to the cab. Because it used to just bolt to the frame, so, and I don't want that this time. So when I did the front end, the inner fender would have been out here at this lip, right here. But when I put in the 3-inch extensions on each side, I moved the front fenders, the inner fenders out the 3 inches. So I have more space in the engine compartment, because Triton V10 is a pretty big motor. Okay, I'll keep plugging away, and if I come up with anything interesting, I'll bring out the video. Okay, so this is what I come up with for a mount. This front end may have had mounts up here before, I don't know. It just seems pretty convenient, the location of the bolt holes, but I didn't get any with it, so I'm gonna mount the top of the fenders there, and I don't know what I'm gonna do down underneath of here yet for the bottom of the fender and the running boards. Okay, so day 2 of repairing the cracks. Welding them all up. Gotta get the cab ready to go on the frame. Working on these bottom corners as well. They were all bent right in. So I don't know if you can see it, but this is all caved in up here. All bent and twisted. So I've got to do the repairs on that as well. That whole corner's folded in just like the other side was. I have a big crack down here. It's kind of funny, the metal's not rotten, but it's just cracked in half and falling apart. So I got this side here all back in shape now. Oops, sorry about my fat fingers. Yeah, so I have this side here straightened out. Now back in shape. It looks like they just dropped it onto a skid and just folded the bottom edge over. And this side's all cracked and broken as well. The metal's still solid, but I'm just going to cut it out and put in new metal just to make it strong. So these mounts are 40 inches apart, same as the frame on the Ford truck that I'm going to use. So this should just sit right on the frame, and it looks to me like it was solid mounted. I'm going to mount it on rubber. Other than that, it looks pretty good under here. It's just these 2 front corners that are really messed up. So I welded up all the cracks underneath there, but I made these up. I'm gonna do a doubler on the bottom of that cab mount, just to give it some extra strength, because it's 10 gauge there now and it cracked. So I'm just gonna double it up, so give it some extra strength. I don't think it was rubber mounted before. I think it was just solid mounted. That's why all the cracks. So if I do this and rubber mounted, it should be fine. So this is the end of the 3rd day of patching the cracks or welding up the cracks. And this side here, I had to make that little pocket. And I don't care about the cracks on the inside. I just weld them up and leave the weld on them. And then under here, welded up all the cracks, and then I just put another plate over top. And I still have to grind all the welds down a bit, and then that's good enough. So I think I'm down to the last crack. Looks like there's a little chunk missing, but that's no problem. Yeah, and then I can get back on to making the fenders fit. Okay, so I've gotten this corner all welded back up, the cracks all welded, replaced that piece that was missing in there. This was cracked loose too, so I welded it back up. I still have to grind that. And same on the other side, I have it all welded up as well. This was cracked somewhere down here right across. And then it was busted here and another crack across that way. So I got that all taken care of, and I thought I was done with the cracks, but then I found underneath the back here, all the spot welds are broke loose and needs to be re-welded. So I'll do the tack all that back together, and hopefully then I can get on to mounting the front end and getting the fenders done, because I still have to, although I have made that top mount that I showed you here, I still have to make a bottom mount for the fenders to mount them onto the cab, because they were loose. They weren't mounted to the cab, I don't think. It's possible, but I haven't found any mounts to the cab, just to where it would mount to the frame. So I'm going to actually make it mount onto the cab. So thanks for watching. I'll try and get onto the fenders, and I'll get a video up about that as soon as I can. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, and share. And we'll see you on the next one.